Hello, I am back. Today we're going to be doing a kind of short flow. It'll probably be about 15 minutes, and it's just based on hip flexibility. So if you want to get into your hips, these are just sort of 3 poses we're going to do on each side. To get in a little deeper, we will be holding the poses for around 2 minutes on each side because it's kind of juicy and you get an opportunity to get in. So if you have anything that replicates some sort of blanket or cushion or large towel, you could use that. It's more just supportive for the knees to give you a little prop up, can be nice. And then maybe if you have yoga blocks, they're awesome. If you don't, again, you can kind of use cushions and things, and it's just support along the way. You might not need them at all, but it's nice to have something if you do. So to start off, we're just going to come into a seat like I am, and you can use your blanket or your cushion. You might like to fold it in half again, bring it in behind you, and then just prop yourself up. So all this does is give us a little lift to underneath the buttocks, helps the tilt come forward so that you're not collapsing into the lower back here. You want to find a nice long spine. Just have your hands resting down in any comfortable seat that works, and close your eyes down. And then as you close your eyes, you start to turn your gaze, your awareness inside, more into your internal experience. And begin to notice what your spine is doing. Maybe if it's challenging to actually sit up with a straight back. And then feel this lift that's coming from your chest. So you're lifting up and then drawing up into the crown of your head. Take a nice full inhale through your nose. And exhale, sigh out the mouth. So one more like this. In through your nose. Exhale, sigh out the mouth. And then if it's available, just starting to breathe in and out through your nose. And here you can bring your chin a little more down towards your chest, but keep that length out of your spine. As you start to slow your breath down, we're just going to find 5 rounds of breath here. Again, this opportunity to bring your awareness into how your physical body is feeling. Depending if it's beginning of the day or later in the day, can really make a difference to how you're feeling, and especially the quality of the mind and the thoughts rushing about. So no force, no frustration, just noticing. Taking one more breath here. And slowly opening your eyes. Take a moment, inhale, just reach the arms up. Interlace your fingers, pressing away, reaching tall. Maybe bring that arch into your back. And then coming down, you're going to come off of your blanket. And we're going to start in a down dog, just because it's a beautiful pose to open up the whole body and kind of wake yourself up. So spread the fingers, tuck the toes, take a moment and just pedal your feet out. And as you do this, think about dropping the knee that's bent and really sinking your hips from side to side. So like a little twist is coming into your pelvis. Press your chest back. Down dog's a beautiful pose to really relieve any fatigue you might be feeling. Starts to get out that stagnant or stuck energy. So it can be nice. And then just for a moment, come down to your knees. So we're going to set up for our lizard lunge pose here. If you would like a little more support for your knees here, because we're going to be here obviously 2 minutes on each side, you can take the blanket, lay it out halfway down your mat like this. If you're on carpet or your mat's quite thick, you'll be fine, but I'm a little more sensitive. I like something under my knees. The blocks here you may like at the top, you can use for your elbows if you know that your hips are quite tight. Now coming in, you can start in your down dog, and we're going to reach this right leg higher. I've brought my right hand in a little bit closer so that I can step my right foot to the outside edge of my right hand. Then that left knee is going to come down, and here it's really dependent on kind of how tight your hips are. So you may like to walk this right foot out further in front, out to the side. You may even like to roll onto the outside edge. but make it yours. Don't force anything, especially into this knee joint. You want to make it sure it feels good. Okay, and the more you sink forward, so you can lift your back knee, slide it back a little more so you've got extra space here to get into this hip flexor in the quad. Now the blocks would be your option, because staying for a long time, you don't really want to be sitting on your wrists. It's not the greatest. So try and come down onto the forearms, sinking from here. And if you're like, I don't need blocks, it's fine. You can come all the way down onto your hands and rest here. And so we're going to be in this pose for 2 minutes. You may like to close down the eyes. Sink in and just start to notice the rise and the fall of your breath. You can always adjust as you need to, especially if you start to get tingling or pins and needles. Sometimes that's not the greatest. Just easing out and then coming back in can be a great way to deal with that, as opposed to pushing through any type of nerve pain or irritation. One of the most challenging things is battling the constant flow of thoughts and mind chatter. And in this way, bringing your focus back to your breathing is the easiest way to really maintain the posture, to settle in. So we're slowly going to come out of this side. So coming up, you can remove your blocks out of the way, coming up onto your hands, easing out slowly when we've been here for a little while. You may like to toe heel that foot in just slightly, and then press down through your hands, tuck your back toes, and you may want to step straight into tabletop. Otherwise, right up into your down dog. Ease that side out, let it walk through your down dog. You may even enjoy lifting the leg and just rolling out through the hip. That feels delightful for you. And then we'll change to the opposite side. So again, left hand comes in, reach that left leg, step it forward. Bring the back knee down, extending it back as far as you can, walk the left foot forward. And again, you may like to roll onto the outside edge, whatever you do on the other side, always acknowledging though that it's a little bit different side to side. So modifying so that it feels safe and comfortable in your body. Your option, those blocks come in, maybe you're down on your forearms here, you can even have them up higher if you need it, okay? Always going to look a little bit different depending on the body you're working with. Once you're down, again, find your comfortable shape. You can see here I've actually been tucking my toes with my back foot. Another way of just supporting the knee, if it doesn't feel as great, you can just give yourself that little bit of support. So playing with either one, seeing what works. And then we're going to sink into our lizard lunge for these 2 minutes once again. Maybe closing down the eyes. Can you watch and observe the rhythm and the real flow of your breath here, the rise and the fall, as it's continuing throughout the posture, cultivating and creating this deeper relationship with yourself. Beautiful, taking that final breath here. Being Exhale, release, and then making your way back up onto your hands. Again, anything you need, lift your chest, tucking your back toes, and then slowly making your way back. Let's find our downward facing dog. I'm going to press the feet. And if you went there, again, lift that left leg. Maybe you roll out through the hip. Our scorpion dog. Just any little moments. Voila. If you're down dog, come back down onto your knees here. We are going to use down dog for the transition into pigeon pose, but you might want to move your prop here. So the blanket can be really great in our pigeon, but underneath the hip that you're sitting on, or the buttocks. You may also enjoy using a block, depending on how tight it is, like you'll see once you get there. So transitioning through your down dog once again, reaching the right leg high, and this time draw your right knee towards your right wrist, extending your left leg back. Now this posture does look and can feel different for everybody, again depending on the flexibility. If your hip doesn't come anywhere near the floor, this right buttock, you can lift yourself up, slide the block underneath. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can walk this right leg more out towards 90 degrees, which is where you may really want the block, okay, and then square your hips forward, and you're going to be coming down from here. So just any props that you need, whether it's a block, a towel, a cushion, just stacking it underneath to give yourself that little extra support. Or you may like to have the heel in closer, that can also give you the support and also help to work towards squaring your hips forward, which is what you want. So using the hands, lifting your chest, and then we're going to come forward. Making sure that back left leg is straight as you come down. Option, blocks under the forearms if you like, or creating a pillow, maybe with your hands, maybe with a fist, to rest your forehead down. So you're sinking into your hips again. We're here for the 2 minutes, and just making sure that your hips are still squaring forward. You're not leaning and sinking out to the side. Maybe once again you close down your eyes, settling your breath, and just enjoying the stillness and the quiet of the pose. Mind is drifted away. Bring the awareness back to that rhythm, the rise and fall of your breath. Just enjoying any space that you can sink into a little deeper. And that single point of focus and awareness. And taking one more final breath here. Exhale, release. Pressing up through your hands, lifting the chest. Take your time. We're going to transition like we did for the lunge. Tuck your back toes, lift up, step it back, and find your downward facing dog. Feeling the feet out here. Just preparing for that left side, so left leg rises. Draw the knee in. Okay, it comes behind the wrist. Extend your right leg back. So again, the same options. You might want to bring your props in underneath this left buttock. You may want to walk this foot more out to 90 degrees. Okay, it's going to take the pose a little bit deeper into your hips. You want to feel a lot of that sensation. Back leg extended. Take a moment to really square your hips, lift the chest, and once you feel ready, then coming forward. Again, it might stay propped up. You might use your blocks to come forward, or coming all the way down onto your hands and resting into the pose here. But like with any of these long holds in yoga and postures that you're sitting in, you find your shape, or the integrity, the activity of the pose and the shape, and then settle your focus and that main point of awareness onto your breath. So you're able to deepen into the pose and find that expansion and space. Slowly taking one final breath here. Inhale, filling up, and exhaling to release. And slowly make your way back onto your hands. Again, just lifting up, easing up slowly. Tuck your back toes, and let's take it back into your downward facing dog. Just a little moment to pedal through your feet, your legs. Beautiful. And then let the knees come down once again. We're going to take our final pose on each side, our Sukhasana or easy cross leg pose. So use your blanket or whatever you're going to sit on to prop the hips up and come over into a cross-legged shape. Now this cross-legged is a little bit special. So as you do this, you're going to bring your right shin in front, and I want to cross the legs. So they're coming across and the shins, the calves are parallel. I'm trying to walk my legs away from me so that my feet are in line with my knees, which are in line with my hips. If I was to look down, it's like I'm making a square and then a diamond in between. And that's basically what you like, so you can get deeper into these hips here. Now you can have your blocks, maybe one, maybe two. This is going to be dependent on how tight your hips are. You might have a tower. Fingertips beside you. Think about lifting. So your chest is reaching up. You're lifting out of your lower back. Maybe holding the pelvis here, tipping forward. As you come down, then slide out and rest. Now you're going to a point where you can start to feel sensation through your hips. If you get to that high and you're like, I can't feel anything, you're coming down. But as you move down, think about moving forward. It is not a rounding and collapsing, but a lifting and extending as you drive forward. And if you're able to get all the way to the ground and that is just super breezy, you're going to lift this right leg. So from underneath the knee and the foot, take that foot over the knee. Okay, now example is I'm not here. This is just stretching my ankle. I want to get deeper into the hip. So the foot is hanging off of the knee. Here, flexing your feet and then maybe going forward. So finding whatever variation serves you, setting up, and we're going to be here for once again 2 minutes on this side. And you can always adjust if you've gone to the more advanced version and you think, oh my gosh, I can't hold it here for this long. Just easing out, changing it back so you can sit and you can come back to actually moving with your breath. As soon as you lose your breath or it becomes shallow, it's generally a sign from your body that you've gone a little bit too far. We're going to ease back to that edge where you've got the sensation, but you're able to breathe and actually be in the pose, be in your body, the experience as it is happening. Taking one more full breath here on this side. And then slowly starting to bring yourselves back up. Again, easing out of these poses. So as you lift, you want to use your hands even to support the feet coming up. And bring your feet down. You can bring your hands behind you. Lift the chest so you reverse the action of that folding forward. And we like to take little windscreen wipers here. So the knees just rocking from side to side. Releasing out. Yay. And then we're going to take this over onto the last side. Getting into those hips. So this time your left shin will come in front. Sitting up so you're on the edge of your cushion and support. Walk the feet over. Again, they're walking over and your legs are walking away. Think of it like an air hostess, okay? Feet across, feet out in front. And that your shins are parallel. You're making this nice square option. Foot stays down here. If you want a little more, this foot comes up onto the knee, hanging off the edge. Sitting up with your props, whatever you need. Fingertips beside you, use this to really lift. It is reminding your body to lift out of your lower back so there's no collapsing, and then a tipping forward as you come down. Lengthening, lift your chest so you're gliding forward as much as you can, and either settle onto your blocks. Whatever you're working with to come down, you may even just, if you don't have any blocks, be on your hands up here, or right down onto your elbows if you can, and we'll be here once again for 2 full minutes. Like I mentioned before, once you find the shape, bringing your awareness, your focus point to your breathing, just slowing it down and be in your rhythm rather than forcing or trying to change anything. And then just taking that final breath. And slowly lifting back up on the side. Walking yourself up. Again, you can use your hands to kind of take the legs out. Hands behind you, lift the chest. Might like those little reverse windscreen wipers. Or it may feel better to extend the legs out long and actually give your legs a nice shake and release. Beautiful work. Then make your way off of your cushion or props. So we're moving everything out to the side. We'll take a few moments in our final relaxation. So curling down onto your back. Let the knees come in towards you. Give yourself a nice little squeeze, rock from side to side. And then making your way into final Shavasana. So legs out long, roll the shoulders back. Really take up space here. And take a nice full inhale through the nose. Exhale, sighing it out your mouth. Letting the weight of the body rest, ground, and settle. All of the space and movement created in your hips. Just letting it be. If you have more time to stay here in Shavasana, Giving yourself those moments. Stay for as long as you can. Otherwise, inviting movement to your fingers and your toes. Stretch and extend your body. And just as you're ready, very gently make your way up to a seated position like we started. Bring your hands to heart center in honor of yourself, tuning out, practicing. Let's take a nice full inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out the mouth. Thank you for joining me, for practicing, and enjoy the rest of your day.